Welcome, learners, to our next session on The Monastery and the Clock from Technics and Civilization by Lewis Mumford, pages 12 to 18. And as we look at the clock, we see that the origin was in monasteries. In fact, the striking feature of clocks was originally more important than their clock faces. The earliest clocks struck the hours, but had no dials to enable them to be read. The development of mechanical clocks in Europe was motivated by the need to ring bells upon the canonical hours to call the community to prayer. And I found this really shocking. Mumford calling this the key machine of the modern industrial age, as he writes in the text, the clock, not the steam engine, was the key machine of the industrial age. I'd underlined and highlighted that when I first read it. From an industrial standpoint, as a machine, the product of the clock is seconds and minutes, which is kind of an arbitrary measure, as we'll talk about here in a few minutes. And also, it was probably around 1345 that the division of hours into 60 minutes and of the minute into 60 seconds became common. Really, what we want to do is look at the effect that the clock had on society. Time began to transform into a collection of hours, minutes, and seconds. It'd be hard for us to imagine what life would have been like before this was the case, how different our conception of time might be. So you have this, and really it was abstract. This division is not a tangible or a concrete division. It's an abstract division into minutes and hours and so on. So this is also going to lead into some abstractions within some other areas of technology also. But the gain in mechanical efficiency through coordination was very huge. It would be impossible to imagine our modern world without the coordination that time and standardized time makes possible. Think back to the concerns when Y2K threatened the software, and threatened a possible global shutdown. So the fact that I think it'd be hard to imagine our modern industrial age without time. The discussion sections, I guess, at the end of this, here's a couple questions you might want to think about. What would you say is the most significant effect that the clock had on society? Then also, think about defending Mumford's position that the clock is the key machine of the industrial age. Now, if you look into our assignments, you need to make sure that you go to the Deepening Understanding folder and to go to, the Generating and Testing Hypotheses folder and look at what does the clock mean to us on the threaded discussion board and complete that. And also keep in mind that now would be a good time to complete number 2 on your weekly assessment. Thank you, and we will see you on the next learning session.